It'd be people coming in about 6 minutes when they are expecting me to be here. How's everybody doing? Oh, what are we talking about? I got Bergen saying if we're doing shots, he's in. All right, hold on. What did we? Let me scroll back. All right, Mike Davies was first. That a guy. Stanifer was super first. That's not a thing. Uh, Fourth. Brickhouse is back. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Okay, just people talking about what they're drinking. That's cool. I've got a special new bottle of something that I'm going to be enjoying along with you tonight. Probably not the whole bottle. That would be an expensive night. Um, start with a brew. The traditional Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff offering of the Sleeman original draft. Oh, how's everybody's week? How's everybody doing? Glad to see a few people here. I was going to do something. I was gonna spin the lathe, but after the week that I've had, I was on my feet on concrete for at minimum 12, maximum 16 or 17 hours every day for the last 6. And I need to be not on my feet on concrete. I do have a little, like a mat in front of the lathe, but after that kind of run of being on my feet on concrete, that little mat is not going to be good enough. So we're just going to sit tonight. We'll hang out. We'll talk about some things. And I'll stay off my feet because I got to be back on my feet again tomorrow because I got stuff I need to do, yo. So, yeah, just stay on the chair for tonight. Everybody ready for Christmas? If that's your thing, if you do Christmas. I'm not. I think I'm close in terms of gift making / buying. Probably not close enough. Well, I'm gonna have to be close enough. Time is linear. So once the 25th happens, you're close enough. Could build you a plywood, nail, and resin stool seat. No, I have a piece of 8/4 sapele that I'm gonna pull down that was supposed to be the legs for my Matt Cremona sideboard, and is now going to be the seat for my shop stool. And I'll get a new one before I do the sideboard, which may or may not ever happen anyway. So I don't have room for it in my house. I need a new house to build the Matt Cremona sideboard in. Turn some gnomes and snowmen. Not a guy. Haven't made too many of the gifts this year, I gotta admit. Unless I decide to just be like, here, you get a bowl that's, not. There have been years where I've tried to make all of the gifts that I gave. There's been years where I've tried to make most of the gifts that I've made. This year is definitely a minority situation. There's actually only 1 or 2 or 3. And that's still up in the air too, because it'll depend on this week and next whether those actually happen. So, yeah, it is what it is. Overall, wasn't a great shop year for production in terms of making stuff. I was not very productive this year in the shop. But it is what it is. The reason the past years, I was thinking about it the other day, And the reason that I was so productive in the shop for a couple of years was because I needed it. Because my job was such that I needed that creative and handmade release. And this past year, I just didn't. I get a lot of what the shop gives me at work. I get a lot of that positive energy and creativity juice at my job now. So it wasn't as emotionally required, if that makes sense, for me to be in the shop. Which, I mean, is a good thing overall for like mental health problems and things. But it's not great for like shop production and like entertainment value for YouTube and stuff, because I'm not churning out videos and content, and I'm not crushing out projects all the time in the shop because I need to for my own mental well-being. There's pros and cons of having a job that fulfills part of that, you know? Made some Cuban bread today. I needed that too. Heyo! Heyo! He needed. You get it? Like he needed the bread. That was good work. That was one of the better. Yes, that was one of the better ones for the last little while. Oh, let's have some bevies together. Let's just chillax for tonight. I'm a calendar. What? Never in my... No, not true. I think probably when I was about 8 or 9, I would have thought for a little while that maybe I'll be in a calendar one day, but it would have been as like a hockey player. Like, you know, the captain of the Edmonton Oilers, Mike Davies, gets a page in the calendar. But not for at least 30 years would I have ever thought that I was going to be in a calendar. And I'm in this calendar a lot. Oh. Do some secular work so I can't get out to the shop like I want to. Secular work as in non-religious work? I'm not sure that I understand the secular work. Being on my knees and pushing up off the ground several times during work makes working in the shop hard. Yeah, I imagine. Irrigation repair. Oh, burn. That sucks. Sorry to hear that. Working on your next video tonight, y'all are making being productive very difficult. Well, suck it up, Rickos. Sometimes you got to take a break from being productive, my friend. I was working on a video earlier today. I spent most of the day on the computer doing a little bit of video editing, doing a lot of sort of back-end admin type work, uploading things onto the Etsy store, and more stuff going on to the Etsy store over the next couple of days. Next video is going to be coming. I should have, I hate saying things like this out loud. I should have at least 3 or 4 more videos before the end of the year. but we'll see. I was working on the Davies for Council signs. The make your own election signs video today for a little bit, but it didn't. I was hoping to get it done so that I could do like a premiere before the live show tonight, and it just wasn't ready. So it'll be. I like to roll them out before the live show so we can do a premiere and then go into the show. But it might come out before that so that next week I can do the I think the name of the video is going to be like, watch me make my worst ever dovetails or something like that. But it's the video of my friend Marissa coming in for a professional photo shoot, which ended up being this calendar. And I made a step stool during her time here. So it's a project video, but it's actually more of a video of her photographing me making a project video. Uh-oh. Accident in the shop. Hold on. Son was helping put some stuff together. I shot a 1 3/4 nail into my leg. Missed a certain area by about 2 inches. I think I might know what that certain area is too. Thankfully, it came out with no stitches. Damn! 1 3/4 inch nail shot into your leg. That's pretty rad. Damn. Last video had probably 16 hours of footage. Yeah. Yeah. Wanted to gouge my eyes out. Yeah. Yeah. Video editing is not my favorite. There are people that love video editing and the production side of YouTube. I am not one of those people. I'm slowly getting better at. I've been doing this, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years now. And I'm finally slowly getting better at only recording what I think I'm going to need. So like for the longest time, I would record every operation, all the rips on the table saw, all the cross cuts, all the everything got recorded. And then you use like 9 seconds of like, this is me ripping the pieces to size. You only need about 9 seconds of that, right? But I recorded it for 20 minutes, me ripping the pieces to size. So I'm getting better at only recording what I'm going to need for the video. But yeah, it's rough. Bailey Woodworks loves editing. Still learning a lot, but love it. Definitely record everything because you never miss a fail. Well, there's that. I mean, yeah. Somewhere in my files, there is a video, there's a clip of me putting my finger into my bandsaw. That wasn't even a project, really. So sometimes relax the safety just for good content. It's true. And sometimes you're more focused on the content production side of things than you are about the operation that you should be focused on right now. I mean, that's one of the big reasons that I don't know if it's accurate to say. Yeah, I think it is accurate to say that my lathe injury video, if I wouldn't have been trying to stop a camera from bouncing around on the table, like there were a lot of things that went wrong. But one of the things that certainly contributed to that accident was that my camera was bouncing around and I was trying to like keep it from falling off the bench because of situations. And I was part of my brain was catching my camera from falling off the bench and then getting it reset and then going back to the tool and not being fully engaged in what I should have been fully engaged in. And that is one of the dangers with content creation is and video production and stuff, is that you have to split your focus, and that's not ideal. I was having this conversation with Jax actually about a week ago, and how we both in a way wish we could just go back to just making and not having to worry about camera all the time. I think it's probably pretty common in the video production world. But at the same time, you're making something, and if you're not recording it, it feels like a wasted opportunity that, like, maybe this is the one that everybody's going to watch and is going to make me tens of dollars. You know? If I don't record it, maybe this is the one that would have made me tens of dollars. That was the worst requirement for the GGBO. You don't film normally. Yeah. It is it's a very specific contest in that way. Like, part of what you're being judged on is the way that you get across to the audience the process of making the guitar, and like the entertainment value is going to come into people's vote selection and whatever. Except you're fortunate in the professional category that they're buying the guitar. Like, it's a raffle. So like, if they're happy to buy the guitar for lots of money, that's fine. I don't think it's a vote situation, isn't it? Like, based on the amount that your guitar nets in terms of the raffle, that is the deciding like who wins kind of thing? Is it how much your guitar fetched? Or I don't think it's a vote situation, right? See, I've been hearing others' horror stories, so I have some ideas of what not to do. Yeah. Just if money was no object, I would have a camera set at every angle I'm ever going to want to shoot. And I'm just going to make stuff, and then I'm going to pay somebody to clip those things together into a video. But it's just not the reality. We share the raffle. I'm absolutely going to share the raffle. Pinnell could share the raffle if he was here. He's the only one that could do links. But he's been marked as tardy for the day. I'm gonna buy a raffle ticket. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even really want that guitar. It just doesn't fit my aesthetic, I guess. It's got too much going on. I don't need push-pull pots and like noise stopper button and all that stuff. I don't need any of that. It's too much guitar for me, and it's not aesthetically my jive. But I'm gonna buy a ticket because we got to support our friends, right? So McGill's here. Just had to finish putting up tree decorations. Hey, you held off a lot longer than I am forced. One of my very few rules in my house is that Christmas does not start until December. So my wife books off December 1st every year so that at midnight she can start decorating the house. And so my house, by the time when I go to sleep on the 30th 38 has September, April, June, and November. The 30th, I go to sleep and I wake up and my house is all Christmas. And then on the night of the 1st, we decorate the tree as a family. which is fine. At least if it was up to her, Halloween would come down and Christmas would go up. Which is why this is one of my very few rules, probably my only like deal breaker rule, is that Christmas can't start until December. Stanford, you can keep trying. You can keep trying all you want. It's not gonna. Pinnell doesn't have a coaster, my friend. We do it the easy way, or don't do holidays. Well, there you go. Perfect. We can make him a coaster. No, we can't. We can't make him a coaster. There's only one worst. Okay, and we've already established who it is. Set up a poll for his quote. Well, do we want to give him that kind of attention though? Really? Like he's kind of half-assing his way through the job, to be honest. Not sure if he deserves a quote or a coaster. Did I get a day on the calendar? You did not get a day on the calendar, unfortunately. I wasn't about to watch back through all of my live videos to figure out where Stanifer's the worst began so that I could give you a day. I'm kind of surprised that I found actually relatively quickly where the Chris Pinnell becomes a moderator day was. I remembered approximately like which few months worth of live shows that it happened. And I clicked on one of them and I was listening to it while I was like doing some stuff in the shop. And I found, and it happened to be the first one that I checked, that the bots got out of control. And I was like, I need to make somebody into a moderator. Pinnell, are you good? Are you good to become a moderator? I'm going to make you a moderator. And it was the first one that I checked. Did you find when the first day the Klingon showed up? I did not. I wasn't looking for it. The calendar has, I want to say about 30 days. What do we got? We've got, in January, we've got First Lathe Day. We've got Branding Iron Safety Day, which is the day that I burned my finger on my branding iron. We've got the launch of the podcast. We've got Adequate Bowl Day. February, we've got nothing. How's that possible? I mean, we got the regular ones. We've got Groundhog Day and Valentine's Day and et cetera like that. But March, we've got Moxon Pipe Clamp Day. We've got Sven's first appearance on the show. We've got Turned Goblet Day. All right, later, Kapla. We'll be here. April, here we go. We got Router Bit Mishap Day. April 1st, fittingly enough. Router Bit Mishap Day. I probably should have called that Router Safety Day as well. But we've got Pinnell becomes moderator. We've got Amy Gersh Day. Because April 24th was the day that she became my first patron over on Patreon. There's lots of days. Lathe Injury Day, May 10th. First Live Show Day. Custom Creations Day, which is May 14th. It's the day that he became my official finish supplier. My first ever, sponsored, I guess, for lack of a better word. What else we got? First ever video release day. We've got Lidded Box Day, the day that The day that Howard died. That's right. That's right. That's the day that Howard died. It was Custom Creations Day. Partnership is the right word. We got Laguna 1216 Day. We've got Schrodinger's Mortise Day. Remember that? The day that I made the mortise simultaneously too big and too small. That's a good day. We got Pinnell's birthday, just because I thought it would be funny. Does it have Matthias Wandell's birthday? No. Sure doesn't. We got my birthday. Got all kinds of good stuff. Cribbage board day. The day that I made my first cribbage board. Teriyaki pork chop day. We got Mike doesn't get elected day. We've got Scott doesn't listen day. We got all kinds of good stuff in there. So these are officially available for sale on my Etsy store. There's a link in the description. They are not inexpensive. Okay, this is a premium calendar. Hold on. I'm terrible salesman. They're $50 each, Canadian. Because they cost me just shy of $20 each Canadian to make and get to my house. And I've included shipping in that price. So after, I'm assuming, I don't know how much they're going to cost. I think they're probably going to be between $10 and $15 in shipping. So I'm making $15-ish per calendar that I sell. If you are a patron over on Patreon, there is a discount code waiting for you over on Patreon for everything in the store that counts towards calendars as well. If you're a patron on Patreon, I only make about $11 per calendar selling to those guys because they're already financially supporting the show. $50 delivered to your door. Once I actually sell one and find out what it costs to ship, I might adjust that. So if you wanted to go buy one right now, you might be paying a couple bucks too much, or you might be paying a couple bucks not enough. So it's entirely possible that somebody buys one of these and the price goes up to $53.50. Nobody's buying fucking calendars for $50. I should just sell them for what they cost plus shipping and just hope to get my money back. This is what should happen. I thought it would be fun to become a calendar. So I did that. I had the professional photography done anyway. So I thought it'd be fun and also hilarious to become a calendar. Did you miss the market rundown already? Nope, that's up next. The coasters are also up on the shop. You can buy them individually with your choice of quote on the back, or you can buy the set of 4 for a significant discount over, because if I send you one, the shipping is going to be like $2 cheaper than sending you all 4. So these are also $50 for the set of 4. You get all 4 for $50, or you can get them individually for $20, because they cost me I think she's gonna charge me about $6 or $7 each Shipping's another 10 probably. So I'm gonna make $4 per thing, $3 or $4 per thing if you buy them individually. But if you buy them by all four, then it works out better for everybody. Those are up on the store. The link is in the description. How many calendars did I buy? I bought 25 calendars. I spent $430-ish on calendars. I would like to recover as much of that as possible. They are a limited edition of 25. So if you go to the Etsy store description, it talks about it being a limited, hand-signed and numbered limited edition that is sure to increase in value over time because of its limited editionness, but that is not guaranteed. So what you need is something that costs you almost nothing and you can sell at a substantial markup. That's right. Yeah, this is exactly what I need. Business Mike. Hashtag Business Mike. Let's open Should I have another beer? Or should I? Feels like there aren't enough people here yet to crack into this. A lesson in capitalism. I'm so good at business. I'm going to get a new beer. We'll go through the market review. And shipping, man. Shipping is what makes things like I could sell these to you at a reasonable price if you're in my town. I really could. Because I make this coaster for $6 or $7. I could sell it to you for $12. I could sell you the whole set for $25. As soon as it's got to go through the mail, you know, shipping. 8 people here, only 5 likes. Boo. Canadian postage, yeah, it sucks, and everything crossing a border, you know, like even within Canada though, it's not really like shipping costs money. It is what it is, you know. I may end up with 23 Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff 2023 calendars and be out $400 for what was essentially like a joke. I think at least one, but maybe 2 are going down to Scotty in Australia. Because that's good friending, Scotty. He's not here either, but he was like, I'm buying the hell out of those. That's awesome. And Mom, guess what you're getting for Christmas? Mom would hang this and use it. Like, I guarantee. She would probably cry because she was so proud of me for being a calendar. Because obviously I've made it in life if you've become a calendar, right? And I just don't tell her that like I had to pay a bunch of money to do it. If you lived in Saskatchewan, well, that's a terrible way to spell that, but that's okay. It would be cheaper. Last box, to you was $51. And you sent a guitar and a case to Daryl Brown and it cost $80 insured. Yeah, well, it's probably just like base price plus, right? Like, you probably could have sent me that same guitar for $80 too. It's like sending anything to Canada is like at least 40. And then it goes up from there, kind of a thing. Like, it's dumb. But then again, I sent something to Amy Gersh down in California for less money than I sent an equivalent size box to Alberta, which is the next province over in Canada. So I don't even know. I have no idea how they determine the prices for shipping stuff. It's because no one wants to go to Saskatchewan. Guys, it's not that hard to spell. The mountains have trolls asking for extra fees. I think the plane goes over the mountains just the same as it does over the prairies, though. I don't think the mountains inhibit the plane. Like, it's not like he's dodging the mountains because he can only go so high. Like, they don't need a special pilot to go like through the mountains or anything. It is when you have meds and eggnog with Jim Beam in it. It's hard to spell. Fair enough. You spell it however you want. You just put, for future reference, if you just put capital S, capital K, I'm going to understand that you mean Saskatchewan. Depends on if it's going to Air Canada. Oh, if there's one thing Canadians love bashing on, it's Air Canada. And the Maple Leafs. Oh, that's fun. So, let's do a quick market rundown. Okay, this is another one of the 2-day markets. It was Saturday evening, so it was 4 to 9 Saturday night, and then a 10 to 4 on Sunday. At 9:30 on Saturday night, after the 5 hours of market was over, I was ready to say, I'm not doing markets anymore. This is not worth my time and effort. I'll sell stuff online. I'll just make things for friends and family. I don't care. I'm not doing markets anymore after Saturday. Because on Saturday, over 5 hours, right? From 4 to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 5 hours of standing around. I sold 4 slimline pens and a bottle stopper. So that's $30 per pen and $35 for a bottle stopper. That's $155 over 5 hours, on top of all the time that it took me to make these damn things. Does it even pay for the booth? Well, this particular market, I'm lucky because it's at the Crow's Nest where I work and I don't pay for my booth. But it would have covered the booth at any market that I go in. But it would have essentially been, if I was paying for the booth, it would have covered the booth and the materials and not my time to sell those things. Boo, right? But even not paying for the booth, I was like, why do I do markets? I hate this. I'm not doing markets anymore. And so on Sunday, I went in not feeling awesome. And then on Sunday, over the 6 hours, okay, I'm just going to go through the weekend rundown. So we can take 4 slimline pens and a bottle stopper off this list, and the rest of it is what I sold on Sunday. So 5 slimline pens altogether. So I only sold 1 on Sunday. But I also sold a dozen bottle stoppers by the end of the weekend. 3 of my little snowman tree ornaments. 4 of my icing scimitars. Remember those? I think I have one laying around that I'll show you if you don't know what I'm talking about. I sold the Yatoba Chip and Dip bowl. My first ever chip and dip that I did, I think, live on the show. And I sold the Holy Hand Grenade walnut and cherry with the finial that I had to put the strip of cherry in because the lid and geometry sucked. And then I hate geometry, and so I had to put a cherry in, and we had to go over 2 shows instead. I sold that too. Oh, this guy right here. So, the nice lidded bowl. That's right. So, over the course of the weekend, 5 slimline pens at $30, 10 bottle stoppers at $35, 1 bottle stopper combo, which was the bottle stopper, the snowman bottle stopper, and the extra top to swap on for $55. 3 snowman ornaments, 4 icing scimitars at $15 each. The Yatoba Chip and Dip went for $90. The Holy Hand Grenade went for $80. For a total of $890. With, what did I say, 150 of it coming after day 1. So day 2 was like $640. So maybe I'll keep doing markets. But man, it's so frustrating. I think the one thing, if I'm ever going to do, I probably will at some point do a like what tips for art markets and whatever. And I think the one piece of advice that I have to give people is to just lower your expectations. It's, go in with no expectations. Because if you go in thinking, well, last time I made X number of dollars at a market, you're either going to be disappointed or you're going to be blown away or whatever. Just go in with no expectations. Because there's value in the marketing aspect of markets. I've gotten jobs 2 years later from people who picked up a business card at markets. I've made $0 over an entire weekend and then gotten a $400 commission from somebody who picked up a business card. You have to look at things at a macro level. And I'm obviously not really that great at doing that yet. I tried to like wrap my own head around this kind of thing as well. But like I said, after Saturday, I was like, God, this is stupid. Why do I do this? Oh, why do I do this? But it's a long game situation that you're looking at, right? Like there's probably people that picked up business cards at this market that I made almost $900 at that are going to call me later for a specific gift for somebody's birthday down the road or something like that. Like, you got to take a macro view on things. Get your name out there. That's right. Like, if people think like next spring somebody's going to be like, oh, I'm going to this thing, I don't know what to get for such and such. They're going to a wedding or something. They're like, oh, you know what? I remember that guy from that market last Christmas at the Crow's Nest that made those really nice bowls. Like, that might be a nice gift. And then they call me up or they send me an email and they say, like, you know, or they've been following me on Facebook since the market. I got bonus followers on Facebook and Instagram and stuff from the market. And now they're they're paying attention and they might be top of mind the next time they need to buy something. Like it's hard, man. It's hard to walk away from a market not making money. But you make connections, you make memories for people that are going to think of you the next time. Maybe they're going to come back to the next market at that place because they remember you being there, and this time they're shopping for that specific thing. You know, it's hard. It's hard. But overall, $890. I did a quick approximate calculation on profit on those things. The profit number is approximately $685. So like after the cost of the bottle stopper hardware, the pen hardware, the wood that went into everything. Pinnell finally showed up. Thanks. Nice to see you. Made about $685 of profit. I can't possibly put that into a like per hour of my time situation, but that's how the weekend went. And then I immediately, well, not immediately, before the show tonight, I spent 100 of those dollars on this bottle of Glenlivet 14 cognac cask. Because I think it's going to be delicious. So this was my, this is what I am celebrating my market weekend. I'm spending some of my market money on a nice bottle of Glenlivet 14 cognac cask selection. Never had it. We'll see. Brickhouse. Oh, he's had it and loves it. Okay. It's got a little. I've never seen the little chart on the back before for the different flavor profiles. I like that it's low in florals and high in caramel. Kind of suits my my Scotch palate. We'll give it a go. I like the purple. The purple, that's a sexy box. And label. It smells smooth. Most of them don't smell smooth. Oh. I'll get my glass. Yeah, I'll pour you a little. All right. Give it a go. The Glenlivet 14 Cognac Edition. That. That's dangerous. That is dangerously good. Oh, that is an extremely smooth. If I was to hand pick a flavor profile, this would be close. There's a little more spice, a little more a little more spice than I want on the back end. But damn. Yep. That's nice. That I don't even really know what to say. That is a very, very good product. Just a touch more spice right at the finish, right at the back end lingering than I prefer. Wow. But it's very, very nice. There's no bite. There's no there's no initial kick. It's super smooth off the top. Maybe I could use a little higher level of sweet on the front and a little less spice on the back. But damn, that is really close to the perfect scotch in that range. In that, this is $100, so it's not an inexpensive scotch, but that's still sort of a mid-range price point. Don't like it quite as much as the Glenlivet 18, but it's one of your favorite Speyside scotches. Yeah. Do you know, is this a permanent selection? Do they just make this all the time? Because I was a little disappointed that I can no longer find the Bourbon Barrel Reserve. So I think it was maybe a limited, they only made one run of it. If this is a permanent, all the time, $100 bottle, I might have a permanent all the time one of those. The Bourbon Barrel was really good too. It wasn't as smooth off the front as this one was, but it was less spicy on the back. That's good. I might go for another round of that in a little bit. That was really good. Yeah. That's a buy. If you're in that price range and you have not tried it, that's a good bottle of whiskey. Eric's having a Yellowstone bourbon. Is that an Australian bourbon? Do Australians make bourbon? Or is that an import? Because when I think bourbon, I think of America. But that's not, USA, I don't think, has exclusive rights on bourbon. Not 100% certain, but I think that's not just a limited run. Okay. I hope that is a permanent line item from Glenlivet. Just even the exact purple itself is just really pleasant. I'm gonna have another one of those in a little bit. That's really good. In Canada, wouldn't it be Bourbon A? Canada makes some good whiskeys too. Keep looking over at it like I want to pour myself another one. I'm gonna hold off. That was $100 bottle. try to ration it a little bit. Oh, it's good though. How is everybody doing? It'll last 3 days. It might not. It might not last 3 days. I'm off tomorrow. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna drink that tonight. Bourbon only requires to be 51% corn, aged a minimum 2 years, new charred white oak barrels. Yeah, doesn't require it be made in any. I know it doesn't require in order by definition, but like, I just don't picture anybody else making it. Like, I don't think there's anybody in Canada making bourbon, despite the fact that they easily could. It feels like bourbon is an American thing, doesn't it? It's not exclusive to them. I mean, in order for something to be a Scotch whiskey, it technically needs to be made in Scotland. But there was a big fight over, actually, I think it was a place on Vancouver Island. Here on my island, I think, got in a fight with Scotland over calling their product Scotch. A Scotch whiskey. I'm not even really sure if I know how that argument ended. It went to the courts and all kinds of stuff. If they ever allow it, or if I come for a visit, I'll sneak you some moonshine, real stuff, not the commercial crap. I've had. Speaking of Saskatchewan, earlier we were talking about Saskatchewan. If you know anything about the Hutterites, they're sort of the Canadian prairie version of the Amish, but more, they're like a modernized version of that. Like, they're not averse to technology and stuff, but they're the closest I could say is that they're like modernized Amish people in Saskatchewan and Manitoba, possibly Alberta too. I don't know, but I grew up in Saskatchewan, and the Mennonites, kind of similar, but the Hutterites have colonies throughout the prairies, and they make what they call dandelion wine, but it's just straight up moonshine. And it's a dandelion. It's essentially a dandelion whiskey that they've made the dandelions into booze, and it's it's not smooth like the Glenlivet 14 cognac. It will burn the hair off of whatever it touches. Like, it is probably poison, but damn, it gets you drunk. Scotland won their court battle. Okay, hold on. Scotch whiskey has to come from Scotland. Oh, okay. Do you know the distillery that was actually fighting them? Because I remember hearing about the fact that they should be, because they bought all their grain from Scotland, even. Like, they had their grain brought in from Scotland, and their yeast and stuff brought in from Scotland, and everybody else would, like, they brought all the stuff in from Scotland. I think they even got their boilers and stuff from Scotland, and they were like, nope. Macaroni Island Distillery. They had to add island to the name. So they were used to be Macaroni, and they had to put island in it, and now they can't call it Scotch. So what do they call it? Like Scottish style whiskey? Because that would suck. Or can they still call it like single malt? I guess it would still be a single malt whiskey. I'm gonna look it up after the show and find out what happened with that whole thing. In any case, that's market update. That's merch update. I got nothing else to talk about. You guys got questions or comments or concerns or anything you want to discuss? This is a CBC article I found. Fire it to me by email or on Patreon or something. Help me out. Don't make me go looking. Anybody gonna buy a calendar? Yeah. Any plans to make a to-do list for 2023? There are a couple of there will be a resolutions list for 2023. I'm going to stop being so ambitious, but there will be a resolutions list that will have a few projects on it. The stool will not be on the list. The stool is already that's calendars. The stool is like it's got joinery cut in it already. Hopefully it'll be done by the end of the year. Macaloni's Caledonian. Okay, cool. So if you win the guitar, I'll keep it and send you a guitar case full of pen and turning blanks. Deal. And then sell it again. Because it'll do me no good, honestly. Like, I don't really play electric guitar in the first place. I'm an acoustic guitar player. So it would just sit on a shelf or on a rack or whatever, and just like, yeah, if I win the guitar, you send me a case full of turning blanks and you sell it again. They're actually Scottish. They use a family recipe. See, this is what there was like a whole big thing. They lost the rights to call it Scotch or imply that it's Scotch. They can't even imply that it's Scotch. They can't even say like made from an old Scottish recipe or something. That's BS, man. I mean, I understand, like, but if you use the same ingredients and make it using the same equipment in a different place in the world, I don't know. It's not like with trees. Like, it's not like you can't call something Honduran mahogany if it doesn't grow in Honduras. Like, it's obviously I don't know. That bothers me. Similar situation happened a few years ago prior with the Japanese Scotch. I didn't know that the Japanese ever tried to call theirs Scotch. I know Japanese whiskey is a whole different line of stuff, and some of it's really good. Same sort of champagne. No, but Champagne makes sense because Champagne is a region of France. If I made sparkling wine with grapes from the Champagne region in France and with barrels from the Champagne region of France and with all of the stuff bought from the Champagne region of France in my basement here in Canada, It's no different than the rules around Parmesan cheese. There's rules around everything. But, like, who cares? I mean, was Scotland losing out? Is Scotland losing out by having a distillery in Canada? making scotch with all of their shit. It's buying all their shit from them anyway. They're still getting the economic benefit of the scotch. The whiskey is still economically benefiting their economy. I'm gonna get angry, and I feel my blood pressure going. So let's bring things back around to something pleasant. we need our friend Lily to come back and do hypotheticals. A lot of it has to do with the aging process. The ambient atmospheric conditions will change the way that something ages. Same ingredients, same process will still age differently. Well, of course it will. But I think you would find, if you use the same ingredients in the same stills on Vancouver Island off the coast of Canada, I think you would find as subtle a difference as you would from various regions of Scotland. Is that why I look so old in your video? Dry, hot Texas climate. That's right. That's exactly it. It's because the atmospheric conditions, the air quality between you and the lens made you look old. I gotta say, Paul, I wanted to tell you stop apologizing, but it was already out. Don't apologize for not being good at making videos while you're making videos. I did that for a long time too. And if I could go back, I would stop saying oh, sorry for sucking at this and blah, blah. It's humble and I love it. And it's honest. But it's also unnecessary. I think he says he needed a script. I don't think you necessarily need a script. I just don't apologize for what you're doing. No, you should never apologize for what you're doing. You don't have to apologize to anybody for what you're doing. They don't know. If they're gonna judge you, let them judge you. Don't apologize to anybody. Well, if you do someone wrong, for sure, you're not doing anybody wrong by putting a video of making a guitar out on the internet. You don't owe an apology to anybody. Papa 47 is not fancy with his videos, but his turning speaks for itself. Yeah, I'm not going to say sorry that I'm not better at this. I used to. It's sorry that I suck, but don't be sorry that you suck at anything. You got to suck before you get good. I'm still trying to talk my kid into understanding that. He still gets really frustrated when he's not immediately good at something. You're supposed to suck at stuff before you get good at it. It's not apology worthy. That's life. Pisses me off when people are good at stuff right away. I'm going to do another one. I did catch a piece of sawdust in the last one, though, I'm going to take out. Maybe I drank it. I tried to keep it. Oh, no, there it is. I tried to get it stuck to the side. So when I start doing my videos, should I say, sorry, Mike? Mike isn't any better at doing videos. Find your own voice. Do whatever you got to do. I just don't think that we should be going through the world apologizing for not being better than we are at anything. I'm good at building guitars, but not being on camera. At least I did let them know that I'm not concerned about filming stuff. Yeah, that's true. It is true. You're like, you were open and honest and said, like, I'm a guitar builder. I'm not a video creator. And that's fine. I don't think, but I still don't think that you need to apologize for that. Like I did for a long time. So I guess I'm just being judgy because you did what I did. I don't know. Maybe I'm just passing along learned advice that I've developed over the years. Because I don't know that I would do it any differently going back. I felt like I had to apologize. I felt like I should. But it's always kind of been my shtick, though. It's just like open honesty. This is who I am. Come along for the ride. And part of that was apologizing. But looking back on it, I don't think you should. Tell you some of the guitars are cool, but the videos are incredible and the guitars are so-so. Exactly. And it's hard to say. Like, those guitars might do really well in the contest because their videos are, Well, it's the guy that won the contest last year before it was all categoried and stuff. It was like a professional film crew shooting that thing. He had like close-ups of water droplets like coming off the tip of a leaf and stuff. This doesn't have anything to do with making a guitar. It was a really nice guitar. It probably deserved to win. But it was the filmography, the cinematography of his project that probably won him the contest. Which is fine. That's what that particular contest is. You can't run a guitar making contest and make everybody send their guitars halfway across the world to get play tested and stuff and then judge them based on that and then send them back to the people. That's unreasonable. There's only so many ways you can do it. It's the same with like Scott and his mallet challenge that he did this past summer. I don't know how good any of these mallets are at hitting stuff. I can only judge them by the aesthetic and how I feel like they would be useful and the video production that went into, or the photography that happened to make them look the best that they could. And in my head, I could be like, well, that's probably going to be too light or too soft, or that's too pretty. I wouldn't want to use it, or stuff like that. But like, if I had them all in my hand and could hit something with it, it might have been a different story. I don't know. Last time I saw some of the guitars in the build-off, I was not impressed with some of the top picks. Thought some of the others were much better, but it has to do with personal preferences. That's the other thing, too. Like I said, I'm going to buy a raffle ticket for Paul's to support him. I don't want to win that guitar. It's not going to do any good being in my house. Like, There's a ton of guitars out in the world that I look at and go like, wow, that is gorgeous. I have no interest in owning that. Like, it's not my thing. I'm gonna build a damn cello next year, maybe. I don't know how to play cello. I want one, and I want to make it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. It's probably gonna get ripped to shit by my stupid cat, sitting in the corner of the living room. And maybe if it happens to turn out okay, maybe I'll sell it for whatever. No, I can't do that. Then I don't own the cello that I really wanted. The reason I wanted to make it was because I wanted to own one. I have access to the page that lists all the guitars. Oh, what's this? A couple are very nice, but one guy built one with diamond encrusted nut. Why? Because why not? I don't know. You made one with a kill switch. Why? All right. Later, Mark. Thanks for coming, my friend. Don't see you too often these days. He just lives around the corner. I saw him at the market. He came by for a few minutes. I put kill switch because I hate tremolos. Yeah, but I don't even really understand why that. Like, I'm not an electric guitar player. I don't get it. That doesn't do anything for me at all. That's so good. This is going to be a problem. Is it? I was just about to say this is by far the best Glenlivet I've ever had. But is it? The Bourbon Barrel Reserve was Glenfiddich. So this is the best Glenlivet I've ever had. So there's that. If that helps next time you're at the store wanting to buy $100 bottle of booze. And possibly tomorrow, I'm filming French onion soup. Because why not? A couple people asked for it last week when I was talking about it. That's all it takes, really. I'm going to make French onion soup tomorrow. I'm going to film it. I'm going to put it out. And it'll make me dozens of cents. New beer. I just wish I could just keep drinking that, but I don't want to because it's $100. What do you guys, it'll fit into the and stuff part of the channel. Yeah, I've done a couple of cooking shows, haven't I? At least one. Teriyaki pork chops was an and stuff. There have been a couple of and stuff videos. Might get into more of that. Might get into more of the and stuff side of things. Yeah. What are you guys hoping to get for Christmas? Do you have anything that you're like that was on your wish list that you're hoping is going to be entering the shop in the next couple of weeks on the 25th or so? I did make a little bit of a wish list. I sent some of that list to Santa, and I fully expect that some of it is going to be in my stocking. If I want something, I buy it. Yeah, but that's not fun, Tyler. Wait until you don't get it for Christmas and then buy it. I've got that happening too. I've got if whatever I don't get off my Christmas list for Christmas is probably going to get ordered on Boxing Day. I'm friends with my two favorite luthiers, George Loden and Ren Ferguson. Okay. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't really have favorite luthiers. I like the people. I've never played anybody's guitar. Like Ravencroft in Alberta. He's just a cool dude he's like me. He's just having fun making stuff in his shop. He makes guitars. He makes them most of the time for charity. Great dude. I wouldn't necessarily call him a friend. We've never met. We've communicated a little bit. Great dude. Tyler Peterson, great dude. I don't want to feed the ego at all, but good guy. I call him a friend, but I wouldn't call him one of my favorite luthiers. He makes wonky necks that have too many frets in them. Like, can't call that guy one of my favorite luthiers. He makes stuff I would never play. Like, he's one of my favorite people who happens to be a luthier. Like, in terms of the umbrella of like luthiers I know that I like as people, he's under that umbrella. So is Waldrop. Like, I've never actually met Paul Waldrop. He's one of my favorite luthiers in terms of one of my favorite people who happens to be a luthier. It's a very small sample size, though. Like, I only really know a half a dozen people who happen to be luthiers. And both Tyler and Paul fall under that umbrella. I'll take it, Tyler says. Yeah, you'll take it and you'll like it. Thanks, Mike. You're one of my favorite bowl turners. Don't lump me under the bowl turner umbrella. I don't belong there. I really don't. I was talking to somebody about that at the market, and they were like, so you're a turner? I'm like, yeah. I don't even know how to answer it because I'm not. Like, and I don't even really want to be. Like, I understand that I spend a lot of time in front of the lathe, but I'm not a turner. Like, it's not where my heart is, if that makes any sense. Like, I like making things on the lathe. I enjoy the process. But I have no interest in like selling my table saw and my workbench and all my clamps and like getting a giant lathe and just turning things. Like, I'm not a wood turner, really. Being a turner doesn't mean that you aren't other things as well. I guess it's true. Like, this is like the what makes you a luthier question. When are you a turner? I don't know. I think it's a mindset. Like, that's where my head goes in terms of answering these questions. It's like, I don't feel like a turner. I feel like a woodworker who also turns as part of his woodworking. Uh, if I made guitars and did some other things as well, maybe I'm a luthier who also does woodworking versus the opposite. If I, but I make more things on my lathe than I do not on my lathe at this point. So I don't know, but it's like, I think it's it's an internalized thing. I do, I do turn, but I don't, it's not, turning is not part of my woodworking. Well, it's part of my woodworking identity. I was gonna say it's not part of my woodworking identity, but it is. Like I am part of my woodworking identity is turning. I don't know. I don't know the answer. Hey, Vipin's here. What's your favorite thing to make? See, that's the right question. If it was up to me and I could just make a living doing whatever I wanted to, I would make custom furniture. I would make custom cabinets or like wall cabinets and coffee tables and dining room tables and side tables, and it sounds like a lot of tables. But like if I could just do whatever I wanted to in woodworking, it would be flat work. It would be flat and square and straight and joinery, and I would turn drawer pulls and legs and a bowl to put on top of the sideboard. Maybe that's the difference. Maybe it's about like what really gets your engine revving. Maybe that's how you define where you are and in that spectrum. It's a hard question because I do like I said, these days mostly I do turning, but it's because it's what's easy to sell, and it supports what I'm doing out here. Way easier than trying to sell a $2,500 coffee table, you know, or a $400 wall cabinet or something. Like, the North Texas Turners Club solicits anyone who turns. They're pretty stuck up, depending on which lathe you own. Oh, the higher price, the more they accept you. Yeah, fuck those guys. You don't want to be involved with those guys. Not only does it sell easy, it shows easy as well. Yeah, and it's easy to. I mean, the hourly wage is easier to calculate. The cost is easier to calculate. It was X dollars in material. It took me X amount of time. Boom, easy. Turning items to sell quickly to reach the goal of making custom furniture one day. Still be turning it. And also for the quick bucks. That's not a sentence, Vipin. Come on. Turning items to sell quickly to reach the goal of making custom furniture one day, but still be turning for it and also for the quick bucks. You want to try again? It's been a while since I've had a chance to dig it, Vipum. I think I get the idea. But yeah, it's like, I mean, people laugh when I say that slimline pens, cheap, crappy slimline pens, have paid for a lot of this shop. They paid for my lathe in 6 months. They paid for my grinder. They paid for all my turning tools. They paid for the material to make my turning tool cabinet. They paid for like a lot. Slimline pens. Like, this market was not a good example of slimline pens making me money. But over the last 2 years, since I got the Laguna lathe. Slimline pens have paid for that lathe and a lot of other stuff in this shop. They're by far what pays for, they paid for all of my sandpaper, all my drill bits. Like my new Bosch sander. Microtonal necks paid for a CNC router. There you go. You put, well, it's because you can charge twice as much because you put twice as many metal bits in there. All right, Brickhouse. Have a good night, my friend. Get back to editing. I'll be watching for it. Pen Blanks is trying to catch up, though. I'm buying some pen blanks off Paul Waldrop. I got an inquiry from a friend of mine who works for a Canadian mining company. And he wants some corporate marketing fancy pens to give out to potential clients and et cetera, et cetera. I was like, yeah, no, I can do that. I mean, I don't make super fancy pens, so I don't know what you're looking for, but like I can make you some pens. And I do. He's like, do you have access to that laser still? And I said, sure, yeah, that's fine. So I can put your initials, your company's initials on it. He said, do you have a wood that's green or would take a green dye well? I said, well, there aren't any woods that are naturally green that I have access to. And the only wood that I use that takes a dye well doesn't really take a dye well on pens, to be honest. So I sent a message to Paul. I was like, hey, Paul, my friend Paul, who sends me stabilized blanks in multicolors, you do me up some green ones so I can make some money off this mining company? So that's going to happen in January, hopefully. Going to do a bunch of maple leaf pens for a mining company to give out to potential clients and whatever. And it's like company card, right? So I'm like, well, what do you want to pay for these? So they could be a relatively lucrative and hopefully ongoing type situation, which will be nice. There's nothing wrong with turning being a means to an end for you, though. You're just turning to be able to do fine woodworking instead of working an office job. It's true. It's true. The wood turning is supplementing the income, is actually providing most of the income for the shop that will then hopefully enable me to do what I want to do. It gives me the opportunity to spend the extra time on the custom furniture pieces that I want without having to charge an arm and a leg for them. Like if I've made a bunch of money on slimline pens, maybe I don't need to charge $40 an hour to make this coffee table. You know, I don't know. I like Business Mike. Hashtag Business Mike is not good, but it's all sort of like again, it comes back to like what we're talking about the market view, right? It's macro stuff, like the shop operation. What makes you happy? If you're happy doing it, then you should maybe be charging less because it makes you happy at the same time. I don't know. I charge more for things I don't want to be doing. I'll be honest. If you order something from me that I don't want to do, you are going to pay more for that. How much do you charge for pens at markets, and what would you charge this big company per piece, if you don't mind sharing? Well, my market rate for pens is like the churn out pen rate. Like I'll make them in batches of between 10 and 50 when I'm making them. And they are, let me get an example. I'll be back in a minute. We'll talk about, this is a really good question because it is part of an important discussion. I'll be back in a minute. I'll go find my, oh, it might be in the truck. Hold on. Bring this whole crate of stuff back in. Hopefully, this is, well, that's a good view. So, this is table decoration. This is what was on the table that didn't sell. So, there's no pens in there. Right here, we got ball stoppers. Where's my pen? Oh, there. Okay, they were in here the whole time. They were in that box over there on the table. So, okay, so my production turning pens for sale at markets are these. You've seen me do these lots on the show. These are slimline pens. They're cheap, cheap kits that I can crank out relatively quick, and they pay for most of what I do here in the shop, because people pay $30. I charge, what is 30, 35, I think, at the shop, because they take 30% on a commission. So I make $25-ish on them when I sell them through there. But those are not the ones that I'm doing for the mining company. I'm doing the maple leaf kits. Okay, now I gotta find those. They're around someplace. I think they might still be in this box. Might not have. Yep, okay. I've got some of those over here. These are a one piece, one tube turn, but it's a higher quality hardware that is a little bit more expensive, but it's less expensive for me to make, so it compensates a little bit. But because the quality is so much higher, they do sell for more. I sell these for $50 pop. I'm gonna do, for the mining company, I am going to discuss an ongoing relationship and figure out a price with them per unit. I'm planning on paying Paul for the blanks, which I'm going to incorporate into the cost. I'm going to tell them that these are probably, I'll probably stick around the $50 range for those. Trade me what for the blanks? I just say, I'll trade you for the blanks. What are you going to trade me? Do a slim line or fun line? I have some fun lines. I have some, what's the other one? It's like it's not slim line. It's like slim line-ish. I don't remember what it's called. Thin line? Some thin line hardware, I think, that I've never done. I gotta scroll back a little bit. Some people don't think a carpenter woodworker should make what a doctor lawyer makes, and then they pay a mechanic $100 an hour. Yeah. Just because the factory made products, the market doesn't allow us to charge our hourly like we'd like. I refuse to pay myself trimline. That's the one. Thanks, Stanford. I refuse to pay myself less than minimum wage, even if I'm having fun and I'm doing it just for me. Like, well, not just for me, but like anything I'm selling, I pay myself at least $15 an hour. I try to pay myself 25 when I can get away with it, but I don't do work for other people for less than 15. The mechanic doesn't get $100 an hour. That's true. The shop does, but they're the ones paying all the overhead and stuff. So Wirt depends for the mining company. Are you getting laser engraving, or is that in-house or sourced? A little bit of both. I'm going to do the laser engraving myself, but I'm paying for access to the laser. I work at a shop that has a glow forge. So I'm going to be turning the pens out of green stabilized maple from my friend Paul. And I'm going to be running them on the glow forge laser at work, which I am going to get charged to use for, because otherwise it could be running for profit for the company I work for. So I get a discount, obviously, because I work there. But and I'm probably going to do like when there's nothing else going on, I'm going to chuck a pen in there real quick and I make a jig that holds it in the same place, and I'll have the file set up to locate the engraving. And whenever there isn't something else in there, but I still get charged to run the machine if I'm doing it for myself. So does that answer the question? I pay for the engraving, but not as much as other people do. Need enough subscribers to get a free laser from some obscure Chinese manufacturer. I had a tool company reach out asking me if they could send me some free tools. I don't know, maybe 4 months ago, something like that. And I looked at them and I was just like, I don't want to use these. Um, I hate saying no to free tools. Like drill, driver, sander, like battery operated cordless power tools. And I was just like, these look like garbage. So like, what am I going to do? I'm going to get you to send me a bunch of these and then I'm just going to rip you over the coals when they suck? Like, that doesn't sound like something I want to do. Talk to Vipin about X-Tool. What's X-Tool? Vipin, apparently I'm supposed to ask you about X-Tool. You want to be sure that the free tool won't burn the shop down? Yeah, well, I don't imagine it would. I mean, it's a lithium-ion battery, right? So like, maybe. But like, it was some green and black. Ask him about Updog too. Okay, who gets the reference? 10 points. 10 points to whoever gets the reference about Updog. Oh, Stanifer gets the points. Damn it. Hate it when Stanifer gets points. Because he's the worst. Yeah, I don't remember what we were talking about anymore. Pens, mining company, stabilized blanks. Lasers. I got to make a jig for the Glowforge and I'm gonna make it like a sample tube so that I can situate the jig in a corner of the Glowforge, and then I have it go exactly every time in the middle of. Because engraving on pens is a little sketchy in a Glowforge, I gotta say. Kapla needs to ask Vipin about X-Tool. Now I'm curious as to who offered the free sketchy tools. I don't remember the name of the company. They had the color scheme of the whatever Hitachi is now. Metabo. I don't remember the name of the company, but it was they wanted to send me free tools to try out and review and whatever for nothing. It would have been like free power tools for me. But I was just like, yeah. Because what am I going to do? Like, I'm already well outfitted with DeWalt handheld power tools and their battery system that I paid for. But maybe I should just like send them a message and be like, yes, please, thank you very much. Send me the tools. Just so we could have a little chuckle. But that seems like a dick move, doesn't it? To get them to send me stuff just to like rip on them. Like, and maybe they're not garbage, but it seemed weird. Like I was just like, nah. It felt like looking at them, I was like, they're like Black and Decker, but green and black. So, nah. Greenworks makes sketchy green tools. Yeah, but yeah, I get maybe it's coming out of the same factory. I don't know. Harbor Freight and Grizzly don't seem to give tools away to makers on YouTube. It's true. They don't have to. You won't believe what this tool company sent me for free. It's good. It's trash. I could make $12 off that video. I could be like, oh my God, look at all these free tools. All you got to do is make a YouTube channel and they'll send you free tools. Yay! You know, I don't know. Free tool hack. Just run a YouTube channel for a few years until you garner the interest of a cheap Chinese tool company. You get free tools. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll message them back. I didn't message them to say that, like, I didn't respond and say, no, I'm not interested. I just ignored it. So, like, maybe I'll be like, oh, sorry, I didn't see this. Yeah, no, that'd be great. Please send me a selection of your tools. Sorry so much that I missed this. It must have gone to my spam folder or something. Just get them to. Run your YouTube channel for years. Get free tool offer from China. ? Profit. That's what I'll do. And I can do a giveaway. I'll use them for a little bit. I'll review them as being garbage. And then I'll give them away on the show. Or raffle them. Because YouTube loves it when people raffle things. Paul Waldrop had a link in his that I was about to share, and I clicked on it, and it was like, this YouTube channel has been disabled due to violating the terms and conditions. I was like, hey, Paul, did you lose your YouTube channel? He's like, no, that was the raffle page. Got shut down. Like, well, right, because you're not allowed to do international raffles on YouTube, probably. So, but I will absolutely share the link to Paul's raffle page on both my Facebook. Well, I can't do it on Instagram. I'll do it on my Facebook page. Go to Paul Waldrop's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram page. Find links. Go buy a ticket. Because if you don't want it, he'll send you a guitar case full of blanks for your turning. And then he can sell the guitar again. I've gotten some replies to comments on YouTube that I reported because they're spam. Oh, yeah. Well, there's always spam and like bots and stuff, but. Oh, I got a spinny wheel. Here we go. We're back. But now, what do you think the chances of those charges sticking on SBF? That's got to be a conversation I missed. Why can't you share it on Instagram? Well, you can't do links on Instagram. That's one of my big problems with Instagram is you can't put links in that people can click on. You have to put like, go to the link in my bio or my link tree or whatever. Like, as much as I hate Facebook, the advantage that Facebook has over a lot of other places is that you can just click on the link that's in the post and it'll take you straight wherever you want to send people. How much are the chances of the raffle? It depends on how many people buy tickets. That's what raffles are. They're not a lottery. It's not like I guess most raffles have X number of tickets and you can buy X percentage of those tickets. Maximum 5,000 tickets per guitar at $4 each. Okay. So if hypothetically, $20,000 will buy you that guitar because you could buy all the raffle tickets. You know what my beef with GGBO is? Oh, Tyler's gonna go on a rant. Let's have it. Let's have it. Let loose. Let loose, my friend. Let's rant about GGBO because I have some issues too. If years goes for 20K, you get 10,000 of it. That's true. Half of the proceeds go to the maker. Nope. A little bit less than half goes to the charity, and then the rest of it goes to prize pool, which helps pay out all the winners for all of the categories. GGBO is the Great Guitar Build-Off, Vipin. It's the contest I went in last year, and Paul went in this year, and Tyler went in both years. It's an international luthiery contest where people build guitars and put them up on the internet, and people judge them, and there's prizes, and there's raffles. There's a charity connected to it that is also kind of connected to Crimson Guitars, who benefits from the charity, which is bothersome. I have a problem with, as much as they would like to try and separate these entities, the Great Guitar Build-Off is connected to Crimson Guitars and the VintageToolShop.com, which are both owned by Ben Crow, who started this thing. He seems like a wonderful dude. I'm sure it's not sketchy, but the fact that the charity is buying prizes off of both of those companies to give away as part of the prize packet. There's a lot of, as a journalist, in my being, I'm a journalist. There are things that I don't necessarily think are crystal clear, translucent, kosher type situations with it. Crimson didn't even start. Texas Toast did, and Crimson ran with it. Okay. I don't know the background of it. It's a great idea, and if it was run properly and it was all transparent and it wasn't connected to two other companies who are owned by, I don't want to do it. He seems like a great dude, and I'm not sure. I want to think that his financial benefit is not the driving force behind the contest. But there's weirdness. There's a lack of disconnect between the organizations and the companies. It's 3x3 custom in the GGBO this year. I haven't seen that she's submitting. I haven't seen Tamar announce anything, or I know I like to make stuff. What's that guy's name? This is how good I am at YouTube. Jimmy DeResta did it for a couple years as well. Yes, he did. And this year he actually put a little bit of effort in, which was nice to see. Last year and the year before, he just kind of half-assed it and like pooped out a quick thing for like shits and gigs, so he could make a couple $1,000s off his YouTube video. But this year he actually like carved the guitar body, which is nice. Bob Claggett, there he is. Thanks, Pippin. That's the guy. He made a guitar. Make something, yeah. Pachuto made something this year. some guy named Frank Makes. I don't know who that is, but the rest of actually I saw his guitar and I was like, oh my god, he actually put more than 17 minutes into the guitar this year. That's cool. I tried to watch a DeResta video once. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either, man. He's like millions of followers and stuff, and I don't get it either. I like Bob Claggett. I like he at least, I don't know. He's got a cool personality. He's fun to watch. He's explaining things well. He's playing. He's having a good time. He doesn't come off like an arrogant dick. Frank Makes did a hell of a job on the inlaid copper octopus on his. I haven't seen it. I just saw his name. I'm looking forward to seeing all the like professional and the celebrity entries, because they're last year and the year before I was a little bit disappointed in like the invitational people. It's like these are the people that are supposed to be the example of like Bob Claggett started like you and I following him when he had 200 followers. Oh, nice. I didn't catch him that early, but I got onto him relatively early. I saw Bob about the same time that I saw what's his face in California, the New Woodworkers golden boy, like I completely forgotten. I haven't watched him for so long, but he's a beginner's dream for getting into making stuff. And he's a huge following too. Like he started a podcast, and I don't know why I can't remember his name. That's gonna bother me now until somebody says it. And he's got like an online course that he does now. Sam Maloof. Yeah, that's him. That's him. Sam Maloof and his YouTube channel. I don't know why I can't remember his name. He started out with a chessboard way back when. Nick Offerman. See, he's just going to keep saying names that are clearly not it. Thanks, Pinnell. Thanks for helping out, my friend. You wonder why I don't pay you well. Steve. That's his name. Steve. Damn it. It's just gone. I haven't watched him for so long. Woodworking for Mere Mortals. That's him. He's a fantastic dude to get started with. And that's him and Bob were like my first like energized, like, let's get making stuff. I can do this. I'm sure I can. Like they make it easy for me to get into this. Identity theft is not a joke, Jim. Yes. Steve Ramsey, Jonathan Katz Moses is good too. He's going hard into like product production these days though. So that's a little bit of a shift away from where he started, but I wish him all the best. He's making what looks like fantastic tools. I would really like him to just send me a router plane without having to buy it. That'd be great. From my understanding, what's holding on? Can we vote on guitars by buying raffle tickets? Good question. Good question. What I think from what Paul said earlier, it's like a committee that's voting on the professional. But I mean, you can vote on your appreciation. You can express your appreciation for the build by buying raffle tickets and then maybe win one. I don't know if that's how the voting works though. Next year I'm gonna win something. I'm gonna win the "This is not a guitar" category. Not saying why. Some of you already know. One more beer. We'll wrap it up. Scott and Kyla, bad friending for not showing up tonight. I get one Australian guy, and it's Vippin. Oh, no, like, Habakabaka was here for a bit, too. Thanks for coming back, Vippin. How's things going down there in Australia? You hot? It's probably stupid hot. And Pinnell was super late. Yeah, it was like 45 minutes in before Pinnell showed up. I'm sitting here thinking I'm in a 160 square foot shop using hand tools, competing against people with thousands in their CNC and lasers. Makes you up your game. There you go. I mean, that's one of those things about like the social media and the YouTube world and stuff. It's just like you can let it get you down. You can be like, oh well, fuck, this guy's got $20,000 in table saws and dust collection and a CNC machine and a 40,000 square foot shop, and like I'm never going to be able to do that, so why bother? Or you can go, maybe one day I'll get to that point if I keep working. Maybe that's not what I want. Maybe I can learn something from something that he does and work towards something. Like I'm in a one car garage making do with what I've got. And I still try to watch other people doing stuff and go like, maybe that's something. Maybe I can learn something from that. Maybe one day I'll get into a huge shop and have that much room if I just keep working at it. Like I'm not gonna be pissy about the fact that I don't have a Powermatic sponsorship. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe you make do with what you've got and you make the best of it, and your best is good enough. Your GGBO 2021 fourth place guitar was made in a shed. That's right. And I saw that shed, and it was like a garden shed that had fucking benches all around it. So you literally had like maybe 3 foot by 3 foot of like turning around to all sides in that thing, man. Like it wasn't just a shed. It was like, it was an outhouse by the time you actually had standing and turning room in it. Ben Crow started in a shop in his backyard. Well, but it was a different time though too. Like it was like if I would have started in a shed in my backyard 10 years ago, I might be enormous too. But I only started 4 years ago, and by the time I started, the market was so saturated with If you worry about keeping up with the Joneses, you'll miss out on the whole reason you're making stuff with wood in the first place. That's right. That's exactly it. Stop paying attention to what everybody else is doing and just do you. Had to walk uphill to school both ways. Damn right I did. No, my parents did. I grew up in Saskatchewan, so there was no uphill. Well, there was a slight incline. Between my house and my school, there's a slight incline. But it was only uphill from school. In SK, that's right. See, Stanford remembered. No, I didn't uphill both ways, but it was damn cold. Started 10 years ago in your backyard, not big. I still want to build what people want. Sell standard bodies, but a lot of custom builds for people. They get what they want. Yeah, they get what they want, but you also need to be doing what you want. And if doing what you want is building what they want, then that matches up great. And you can keep going and you can be happy. But if building what you want doesn't match what they want, and you need to either compensate by charging them more because you don't really want to be doing it, or not doing it. I mean, these are starting the third single garage shop. Work, sit, table, saw. Was my workbench. The goal is to make custom furniture one day, and you'll get there one day. See? That's the attitude. Just keep going. Keep moving forward. Stop judging yourself against what other people are doing or the successes that other people are having, and just keep moving forward in your own journey. I want to build stuff because I want to do it. Making money would be nice, but not the main reason goal. You can't, unless you're going to just dive in and incorporate and make it a business and lose all of your enjoyment for it. It can't be all about making money. Like, I got offered a job at the market this past weekend. Guy was like, "So do you do this full time?" I was like, "No, I do it about half time. I work here in the shop about 3 days a week, and the rest of the days I'm in the shop, and I make my way through the world." And he goes, "Well, if you ever want a full-time 9 to 5, like anybody who can produce this kind of craftsmanship is more than welcome to come join us at I already forgot the name of the place. Custom boat building company. Do high-end boats with like fancy pants, hardwood cabinetry and interiors and stuff." It's like, "Yeah, we work with a lot of the same woods that you're working with, and we do like the cabinetry and all the interiors of all of our boats are all like cherry and walnut and whatever." I was like, "So high-end interior boat work, full time." Thanks. I appreciate the offer. Don't tell my wife that I'm not gonna go get that job, because I'm sure she would love if I would go take that job. But I would shut down the channel. I would have zero enthusiasm for making wooden things in my shop if my full-time job was doing high-end boat interiors out of wood 40 hours a week. I would not want to come out here. Like, I would have no desire whatsoever to run the tables up. And That's not what I want. I want this to be something I love doing, which is why it's hard to make this like something you love doing and also pay for itself and then a little bit more, maybe, hopefully, because it always comes back to being like, well, how much of a job do you want to make it? You know, how much love do you want to have sucked out of it? But it would pay well, but it would kill your passion project. Yeah, it would absolutely. I would spend. I might as well just sell my tools, because if I was doing woodworking for a living on other people's high-end boats, this is like almost no chance that I would want to come out here and be running wood through machines on my days off. I'd probably get back into photography and music. I had some friends that used to build high-end boats. The chemicals in the finish did kill them. Yeah. Yep. I like I said, I appreciated the compliment, and I said I'd keep it in mind. But no, that's not what I want. What if you were offered to make custom furniture full time? Would you take that? Um, I don't know. It would depend on the offer and the it would come down to the specifics about whether it was if I got to do the design work on the furniture, if do I get to do the consultation on the creativity aspect of it, or is it just like this person wants this, go make it in the shop, and you're 9 to 5, you're making arts and crafts Stickley style coffee tables all day, every day, boom, boom, boom. If it was, yeah, it would depend on the situation. If it was like custom work that we could work together on the design and create something beautiful together, and then I would go make it, and then yeah, but I mean that's the ideal for what I'm doing out here in the shop anyway. That's the end goal, would be to have enough work that I could create custom furniture for people for a living. But the only way you could do that in like a company setting would be as if they got like an order from a hotel that was like, you need to build 150 coffee tables. They're custom, they're custom furniture, but it's 150 coffee tables, and you're just ripping wood through the table saw. And then somebody else is taking it and they're using a Panta router to cut joinery on it, and somebody else is, I used to work on and fix pianos. It was interesting and I enjoyed the work, but the guy I worked for was a bit of a jerk and didn't pay well. There you go. So something, well, I mean, we all know, if you've ever worked for another person or a company, you know that you don't leave a job because the job sucks. You leave a job because your boss sucks. Right? Because you took the job because the job was good, or it was at least okay. You left it because your boss was a dick. Or you had to do most of his job and he got paid way better than you. And you were like, why is he getting paid so much money when I'm doing most of his job? People don't leave jobs, they leave bosses. Anyway, we're 2 hours and 20 minutes into the show. We didn't make anything. The moral of the story is the Glenlivet 14 cognac cask is delicious. Sometimes you take the work because it's what you needed at the time, and sometimes you need, in order to grow, you needed to move on. Yeah. Unfortunately, I did not sell any calendars. The Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff calendar on sale now at the link below, the Etsy store link. Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff 2023 calendar with many significant dates. Maybe I'm down $400. Maybe I'm not. It's okay. The merch announcement. I think I saw Vip and say, what was the merch announcement? I got calendars. I got coasters. They're all in the Etsy store as of this afternoon. If you're a patron over on Patreon, there's a huge discount waiting for you over there to please buy some calendars. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, everybody. Thanks very much for coming. I love hanging out with you guys. It was another good fun night. Get finished your Christmas making, if that's what you're doing. Bye for now. One more of these before Christmas, right? And I've got a shop stool that I need to finish in, 3 weeks? Less than 3 weeks before the end of the year? Maybe. And then next year, I'm making a damn cello. For some reason. Why is a wood turner making a cello? Later, everybody.